start giving access to you. Yeah. So now today we'll be starting with the new info type, that is your 588. Last time we have seen info type 587. So
87
today,
completed.
yeah, 588 is what? It is for other statutory deductions.
Other
And in,
statute.
yeah. And in the subtype, you just go to subtype.
Creating.
Yeah, you can create, and also you can see there are 4 subtypes actually. Okay. So what are those 4 subtypes? The first one is ESI, Employees State Insurance. Second one is LWF, Labor Welfare Fund. Okay. Third one is P-tax. P-tax is actually professional tax. Okay. And fourth one, somehow the text is missing here. Some configuration is missing there. So it is actually section 89. There is something called section 89 eligibility. Okay, so which we will discuss tomorrow. So let's today try to focus on ESI and LWF. Okay, so now you just first create the first one.
Second one.
First one, ESI.
First
Yeah,
one.
we will start with the ESI today. So ESI, what is an ESI? I will just tell you. Actually, ESI is applicable to non-seasonal peak power using factories employees 10 or more persons, and there are some, as well as some labor laws and all that there, but there is a limit of 21,000. If the salary is previously it was 15,000 limit, now it has been revised. If the salary is less than 21,000 per month, then actually they are eligible for thing. Okay. And for this, I will recommend to read something called ESI Act. Okay. So there is something called ESI Act, and also there is a ESI website, esic.nic.in. Okay. So that you can refer, and the full form of it is Employees State Insurance Corporation, ESIC. Okay. So you can maintain the data here. So what are the things we are going to maintain here? So there will be, whenever a person is eligible for ESI, he will be receiving a temporary certificate, just like kind of acknowledgement he will be receiving. Then after getting the ESI number, he has to enter it. So you can directly enter the ESI number. Okay, let's say he has already applied and he has already received the ESI number.
I can give the any number, sir.
You can try number. Yeah. I don't think there is any validations.
Okay.
Now you just save it.
Can I save?
Yes.
Okay.
Just save it. Yeah, it is very simple. Nothing much is there. Similarly, now what you can do, so we will be understanding. But so in ESI, we have something called your contribution period. Okay, so there are 2 contribution period. One is 1st of April to 30th of September. Second one is 1st of October to 31st of March. Okay, so there are 2 contribution period typically, and also we have something called benefit period. Okay, so there are small difference between your contribution period and benefit period. Benefit period is 9 months after the contribution period. Suppose you are contributing in the month of April, then benefit period will be starting from your 9 months after that. Okay, so that is the meaning of a contribution period and the benefit period. Okay, and what are the benefits actually? So there are several benefits, including for sickness period or any kind of maternity benefit. Okay, and provided to the ESI staffs or those people who are eligible for ESI. And if the employee is on ESI leave, during that period he is not paid by the employer. So there are some benefits, some things are there. Okay, so you can read it about it more in the ESIC website. Okay, so that is also a task for you, like you will be writing some kind of article or a kind of a report kind of thing, like what are the different things, just like we have done for it PF, right? What are the different criteria, what are the different contributions. So those policy part, I'm not going that much detail because I just very high level I have explained all these things. Okay, but from an understanding point of view or from an HR point of view, it is very important to understand the peculiarities of ESI. Okay, who is eligible for, who is not eligible for. Okay, so all those things actually we have to understand. Okay, so for that reason, I would recommend to go through the ESIC website and you can go through that. So that's a task for you. Okay, so from a system angle, we'll now try to understand what are the, from a system point of view, what are the things are important. Okay, so those things we'll be discussing. Any question, before we go to the system inside?
No, sir.
Okay.
No, sir.
So now what we will be doing, so just now we tried to fill up the info type 588 subtype 0001, which is nothing but your ESI data for an employee. Okay. So now what we will be doing, so you can go to SPRO. So today we'll be going through SPRO first, then we'll be moving to
Okay,
okay. The table names are actually really long name when it comes to the ESI. So for that reason, I will just we'll start with the SPRO first. Then towards the end, I will tell you the table name as well. Go to payroll India. So now today you have to tell me like from where exactly it should be the ESI.
Yeah, statutory social contribution.
Yeah.
Employee.
Just below PF. Okay, so no need to forget. Okay, so if you from you can Google about ESI as well, lot to ESI website. But other than 10 things, employee state insurance, if you go to that spectacle, right, there also you'll be finding what is an ESI. Suppose you do not know anything about ESI. Okay, so that you can get those documentation as usual. Okay, so before so that is a task for you. So you have to prepare a good document as an assignment.
Sure.
Related to ESI, both for you and Lakshmi. Lakshmi, you are also remembering, right? What you have to do, you have to prepare a PPT.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so as usual.
Okay.
So like, so here what we'll be doing. So here individually we'll be checking all these node. Okay, so first you just go to maintain ESI eligibility limit.
Yeah, okay, sir.
Yeah. So ESI is applicable to an employee whose salary doesn't exceed, yeah, just click that. 21,000 at present. Yeah, so now somebody has already maintained it. Okay, so previously it was 10,000. Then when I was doing it was 15,000 in 2012-13. Now it has been revised to, I think, 2-3 years back or somehow. It actually moved that I'm not able to remember the date, but it is now 21,000. Okay, so that is a ESI eligibility limit. Okay. So how the system will understand these things? This is stored in a table called, so this is also a constant table only. So you can open a new session. So you can see, this is a table called ESI, no, sorry, the constant is called ESI LT. Okay, so this is in the constant table only, this value have been maintained. This is a payroll constant table only. And how you can come to the same table? So you can, yeah, go to SM30.
SM30.
Yeah. And what is the constant table which I always refer? B underscore
P511P.
511P. Just try that table.
K.
Yeah. Okay, sometimes a P also fine. So you have to check it. Go to constant, same constant. Yeah, so why it is showing locked? Because same table have been opened by you through SPROs. Okay, so this kind of message you'll be getting. Okay, so in those cases, in the same, by using the same user, you can't open the same table at the same time. Okay, so for that reason, it should say. So you still you can see, you can display, you can click yes. Do you want to display locked data means you can't edit, but you can see it only. Okay, so here you can see there is a table, so the constant called ESI LT. Did you see that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
The same value actually we are seeing from SPRO. Okay. So if you click the I bar, just click that information or documentation. What does it say? Yeah. So basically, an employee is eligible for ESI. Only the ESI nominal basis of the employee is less than or equal to the amount stored in the ESI eligibility limit. So as the ESI LT, this ESI eligibility limit value changes over a period of time. it gets revised. So for that reason, the amount is not written here. Rather, it is actually maintained as per the government regulations. It is maintained in that table. Okay. So that is the understanding. So at present, the rate, the limit, eligibility amount is 21,000 or less. Okay. So somebody's salary or some nominal basis more than that, then he is not eligible. That. Okay. So you understood this thing up to this?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. So basically, in the most of the states, so have you seen ever any ESI hospital nearby?
Yes, sir. Yes. We
Okay.
are aware that about Hyderabad.
Hyderabad, right? Okay.
Yes.
So those ESI people who are actually coming under eligibility, so they are eligible for to go those hospitals, and they can and without any fees, actually, think minimum without many fees or minimal, very minimal fees, actually they can claim and or they can go for treatment and all.
Yes.
So those things benefits are there. Even I was in Bangalore, right?
Yes,
It's a
sir.
big one. It was a big ESI hospital there also. I have seen it. So this is regarding your
Okay.
ESI eligibility limit. Now you can go back again in the same table. So we're looking at another constant here only. Go back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, sir.
So there is
Okay, sir.
another constant which is ESI
This
MN.
one.
ESI MN.
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 Okay.
That's the third one. I'll be coming to that. So ESI MN, what does it say? Minimum average waste per day. So you just click that I bar.
Okay, sir. Okay.
So minimum wage, what does it say? If the average per day of the employee is less than or equal to the amount stored in the constant, only the employer makes an ESI contribution of 4.75%. So similarly, the way we have seen 12% in PF. Okay, so similarly, for an employer point of view, so that will be only the employer will be making an ESI contribution of 4.75%. Okay. And if the average wage per day is less than equal to, okay, so there is a conditions again. Okay. So previously we have seen that 21,000 per month. Okay. At the same time, also system checks this minimum average wage per day. Okay, per day also it checks. Okay, suppose that is divided by 30 or whatever. Okay, so it is less than or equal to the amount stored in this constant. So in this constant, I can see 136 has been stored. Okay, if the employee's wage per day is less than that, then only the employer will be making an ESI contribution. So I am not sure that amount is whether it is correct or not. So
Okay.
for that, we have to always refer the government rate, okay, or the government values from the ESI website.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so that is as simple as that. Now you can go back again.
Yeah.
We'll be seeing the another table. So what is the number of days again? So for these calculations, how system will check what is the number of days. So for that, we have to check the constant is DYSMN. DYSMN, is it there? I don't
No,
think.
sir.
Okay,
It's not
so
there.
that value will be coming from another table. You can open another table. That is your 511K. So basically, number of working days in a month, actually how it is required. So basically the employee's contribution is not payable if an employee's daily wage is less than whatever the value. So here in this, in our case, 136 was maintained. Okay. For that reason, we need to compute the daily wage by dividing the monthly salary, whatever the monthly salary the employee is getting, by the number of working days. Suppose mostly these 26 days people follow. Okay. And otherwise, if it is 22 days, mostly in the IT companies, and 5 days working where it is there, but still mostly 26 days. Okay, so for that reason, it will be divided by 26. What are the employee's salary divided by 26, and whatever that amount we have seen, it is maintained 136, right, in the previous constant. If it is falling less than that, then only ESI will be your calculation. Okay, so in this way, this ESI is calculated. Okay, so this is as simple as that. It's a payroll parameter. This is understood?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay. Now we'll be going to the another table. Go to T7. Otherwise, you can go to that SPR again. From that, we'll also check it. You can close it.
Okay.
So what is the difference between these two tables? One table is payroll constant, another is payroll parameter. Payroll parameter is the ending with K, high W1K, and this one is a payroll parameter. Payroll parameter and then payroll constant. Okay. Hello.
Yeah, sir.
Yeah, you can go
Sir.
back. This is very slow. So this one also we have seen maintain average wage per day limit also we have seen. This is another table which we have seen. You can another time see this.
Okay, sir. Can I close this one?
You can check this as well. No? Maintain average wage per day limit. We have seen in the SPRO, sorry, in the SM30. So this is the same thing. So here you can see if you are going to SPRO, at a time you only that particular value only you will be seeing. Okay, not the entire table.
Okay.
That is the difference.
Okay.
Now you can go back. Yeah, you can close this. Yeah. So now so this one already we have seen maintain number of working days in a month we have already seen. That is the same
Yes, sir.
table, same. So you can go to the next one then. Assignment, sorry, define personal area and sub area grouping for ESI. You can go there.
Okay, sir.
Execute that.
Yeah.
So here, how system will understand your grouping. Okay, so there will be a particular grouping for your personal area, sub area grouping for employee state insurance. So in this example, we can see only two are maintained, Bangalore and Tamil Nadu. You can also maintain your as simple as that. Okay, employees reference. So you can create new entries. Click new entries.
Okay, sir.
PS group for ESI, you can make it 3. Similarly, the similar way you can try whatever the number employers reference number. Okay, so this is not employee we are maintaining at 588. This is from an employer, the organizations. Okay,
So I can give anyone, sir.
what you can do, you can copy now. So just go back.
Okay.
That is the easiest way to do anything. You can close this. Okay, so you can click to and click copy. So you just make it 3 or 4. Then REF, you just make it 4 again. REF, that you for. Then you can make it your Guntur or your location, whatever. ESI grouping, yeah. ESI. Now you can save it here. Click enter. Okay, so if it is asking, so you can just simply tick it, nothing much. Region, you can make it Andhra. You can save it. Now you can save it. Yes. Click save changes past. Yes. Okay. So in this way you can define the grouping first. Now what you'll be doing, you can go to the next node, which what you are going to try to do. So here, what you are trying to do here in this, we will be specifying the ESI office for that grouping. Okay, so you can execute that.
Okay.
Fourth one. So you can see for Hyderabad, we have personal area, personal sub area. Guntur is already there. I think you have already created. Okay, the PS grouping is.
Yes, I have.
So
I have
you.
created personal.
So what you can do, yeah. So this is your personality, personal sub area. In this PS grouping for ESI, right? You can just click that lens. Click that lens against that lens. Yeah. You can find out the last one, Guntur ESI, right? Because number 3, we have not filled up any data. So the text is missing. So 04 is the one which you have created. Okay, so you can check that. Click 04.
Okay.
Yes, select that. And same is applicable for your 0404. You can, if you're having the same grouping, then you can do. Otherwise, you can create your own. But actually, we have hypothetically created this. So ideally, there should be actually an ESI hospital or ESI group or grouping. Okay, so we are thinking that everything is there in that way created. But actually, in the ideal scenario, you have to think of wherever it is an ESI hospital or existing this grouping. So you have to create that. Okay, so you can just click save.
Okay.
Okay. Are you getting any error?
No,
No,
sir.
All right.
That was saved.
It is saved, right? Okay. Now you can go to the next one. Next one is maintain contribution rate. So this doesn't change much, never changes. I've not seen since last 10 years.
Oh.
So this is actually the contribution part. Okay, so from where system is calculating those contribution. So you can see the PS grouping. So here you can create your own group. You can click the second one, okay, and click copy. Because your PS grouping is 3, right? Sorry, 4, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so you can select 4 from there. 04,
Oh.
yeah. And employer contribution is 4.75%. This is perfect, and 1.75% is your employee contribution. Okay, so you can just now click enter. Enter it. Now you can click save.
Oh.
Okay, suppose as many as PS grouping you are having, okay, that many times you have to copy and you have to just simply save it. Suppose you are working on a new implementation project. This is the one-time activity. Then you never have to change it because this never changes, okay, unless and until government gives some announcement. Okay, so now this is the rate. So this is the ESI contribution rate. Okay, so now you can close, save it, and go back again. Let's see if any other nodes are there. So body, these two things are actually why, as I was mentioning one day, like these are all any kind of additional customization of what you are doing. Okay, suppose you like to, so these are from a technical point of view, business add in. Okay, so if you see the documentation of it as well, it will say there are 2 bodies are available. So one body, it will tell, just click the documentation against that body, or you can execute that body. What this body will be doing, it will ignore. So there is a ESI refund, suppose it is happening. Okay, so what this body will be doing, so just now close it. Yeah, so this body's name is, so this as a functional consultant, you should know this body name. Okay, and what is the functionality of this body. What it will do, suppose there is it will ignore the ESI refund during the retrospective payroll run. Okay, suppose for the details you can just click the documentation. I will explain. What does it mean? Okay, so details have been explained here. So what exactly it does? Okay, so let's say so you can just scroll down if there is any scenario it has been explained here. No, there is no scenario, but as a functional consultant, whatever is been written here in the activities, right? Okay, so if the technical you have to talk to the technical consultant and you have to show this to the technical consultant. Okay, so that if any suppose whatever the standard process doesn't meet your need, okay, then you have to talk to your ABAP. And why it is required? Yeah, so you can read that example. Okay, so there is an example in his, it is given here. If you see, it is the 5th line. For example, it is written, right? If payroll exists for a period for a month of April to July, okay, and ESI contributions are made for each period. Okay, so you can think of like April 2020. Okay, so by the time SAP generated this document, it was 20 years back. So the same principle is still there. Only the amount has been changed, but the principle remains the same. Okay, suppose the payroll results existing for April to July and ESI contributions are made, means there is a proper contribution from employee and employer both. Okay, so but somehow the info type 588 is deleted with effective from April 2001. So this one is a task for you, for both of you. You can test it. Okay, so what you will be doing, so you have to run payroll from April to, say, not July, you can try April and May. Okay, let's say April to May 2020. Then after running the actual payroll run, not the simulation, the actual production payroll run, then what you'll be doing, you just delete the info type 588. Okay, then what it will do, and again what you will do, a retrospective from April will be taking place in the month of August. So in this case, it is if it is payroll is run till July, okay, it will there will be retro in the August, and ESI contribution whatever you have made, because you have already paid ESI from April to July in this scenario. So again, you'll be getting refunded. Okay, so and it will be generating a wage type called /AER. Okay, so that is the respective refunded monthly wage type. Okay, so because you have deleted, that means system will understand you are no longer eligible for ESI. Suppose your salary got increased, so due to some reason, okay. So again, the refund will be actually calculated. Okay, so this one you can test it. Okay, I'll be giving a task. If you're not able to perform, then I will help you. Okay, not that much difficult. Okay, the idea is you have to should be able to generate this last AER. Okay, so did you get the question? What I am expecting?
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay. So you have to run the actual payroll, not the simulation. Actual payroll run. Then you will be after. After maintaining. So you have already maintained 588 info type subtype 1. After that, you have to run the payroll actual. Then after running, you have to delete the 588 subtype. Again, you run the payroll for the next month. Suppose you have run for April, May, then you run for June. Then you just check in the payroll log if that /AER refund monthly wage type is generated or not. Okay. So this is a thing, this is a task for you. Okay. So now we will be, any questions? You understood, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Good. Okay. So you just read this document carefully. Okay. So whatever it has been written. Okay. So yeah, just you can just close it now. So similarly, we have another body. It is also the same similar way. Fetch ESI monthly return details. Okay. So you can also read the same thing regarding the documentation of it, because I have never used these two bodies, even if it is there. Mostly the company follows in India. I have seen the standard, whatever the government is saying, they are following. Okay. There is no deviation, but still it is better to understand whatever it is written. Okay. Now you can just go to the last two node, maintain ESI new form begin date. The ESI eligibility limit for physically challenged. Yeah, say maintain ESI new form. Just click that. It is actually the same table, I believe. Yeah. So yeah, so this is actually another constant ESI new form begin date. Okay. So this one also, if you just go to the documentation, yeah. So it is saying there is a report for ESI, HINCESI, which I will be talking about it. Okay. So there are form 5 and form 6 report, and this value will be stored from here. Okay. So actually this symbolic constant will be used in this particular report. Okay. That is the only thing. Stores the value, and from which actually you can start using the form 5 and form 6. Okay. So that is nothing but nothing much. You have to change it. Okay. Now you can go back. Now, I think you close the SPRO, is it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So you go to the last, which I was telling. Okay. Last one, maintain ESI eligibility for physically challenged. Again, this scenario I have never seen. Okay. So like if there is any scenario for physically challenged people in the organization, then only it is required. But I have never used it. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So this is a thing, but you can test it as well. Yeah. So now what I will be trying to do, I will be telling you 3 report name. Okay, so or if there are called 3 ESI report name, I will just enter in the chart window. Okay, so one is PC00 underscore M40 underscore ESIB. You can run this program. So what does it report this does? Okay, just enter this T code in the top.
Yes. Yes. I got that.
Yeah, so now you can use your payroll area and execute it.
Yes, sir.
Now you click that session in ESI only. In the statistics, just expand the statistics.
Down.
Now number of records selected, how many? 0. Okay, now you just go back again. I will tell you, just do not enter the employee ID.
Yeah, just remove it.
Remove it and just execute it. Okay, so you can try, still just go back. Actually, this program, what it will do, it will identify employees who are no longer eligible for ESI benefit. Okay, so that is the idea. Okay, I think the employees for which you have maintained, his salary is, I think it is a higher side. You just go to info type. Otherwise, you can go to info type 8 for that employee.
Yes, sir. It's a very high, 50,000.
Very high, right?
Basic.
Okay, then he will be not
Yes,
eligible. So
50,000.
what you can try, so this the program name you have remembered, you can try an employee whose salary is less than 21,000. Okay, just give you some minimum salary, then you try to run this and you will be let me know in the next session. Okay, so
Sure.
it is a task again for you. Next session, in the sense, you can tell me whenever you are getting time. I think tomorrow will be very hectic for you. So yeah, so now I'm telling you another program. Okay, so this program name you just remember. I'll just put it in a chart window. PC00 M40 underscore ESIF. So these are the ESI form report. Okay, which is basically there are two forms. One is a form 5, form 6 and form 7. And forms, these are actually printed at the end of the year, at the end of each contribution period. Okay, and these reports are generated after the March and September payroll. Okay, after March you will be running, another time you will be running the September. Okay, and form 6 is submitted to ESI authorities, and form 7 is kept with the employer. Okay, so that is the thing related to this thing. Okay, so you can run just to try.
Okay, without entering the payroll area, can I run?
You have to enter the payroll area. Just try that.
Okay, good. Going to execute.
Fill in all contribution period. You can try from April 1st, 2020.
The error is came here, sir.
No. Contribution period in the add parameter.
Okay.
You can put 1st April 2020.
Okay.
And you can personal number plus you can put your employee ID or any.
Oh.
Yeah. You can execute. End date cannot be before begin date. Okay. Yeah. Just put there any date. Contribution should be in the same financial. You can't put 99999. Okay, so there is again validity. You can put only 2000. Same financial year. It should be
2020.
2020. Execute again. Okay, so you can see, so what are the different, so from this error, actually you will be learning a lot. Periods will be from 1st April to 30th September, as I was mentioning to you, right? Actually, what
Yes,
should be the period, because we have a contribution period. One is from part of those contribution period in the beginning of the session, which I told you. Okay, the same thing you have to follow. So you can put 30 September, April to 30, so 30th of September. Okay. What is the reason? Is it 30-30, not 31? Month of September is 30 days.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. And now execute it. I think some program is having some error. It is showing terminated.
It's running, it's processing, showing the.
But in the beginning, in the end, actually, you can see in the footer, it is showing program terminated. I think it will be giving a dump. I'm not sure. Okay.
So our time is end, sir.
Yeah, it's about to close. So let's try till end. If it is opening and well and good. Otherwise, we'll be seeing the next one.